Welcome back. In this tutorial, we're going to talk about Figma's Auto Layout feature, which basically lets you create responsive and flexible interfaces. We're going to see what it is, how it works, and some of the basic features that they have. So let's get started. In your Figma file right here, you have the ability to create a frame or rectangle or whatever. If you press F to create a frame and you drag and drop to have a frame, you have this sections right here called Auto Layout. If you click on it to add Auto Layout, you will see the inspector and the properties of Auto Layout. Basically, how it is built, you have in the first section the direction of your stack. So it can be vertical, horizontal, or it can wrap, which is really useful. Underneath that, you have the gap between your elements. So depending on if you have a vertical stack or an horizontal stack, you will have a different icon next to it. And underneath that, you have the padding. On the right side, you have what I call the positioning matrix, which basically, if you are a dev or if you know a bit about Flexbox, it's the same thing as knowing the start, center, end of the Flexbox direction. This is the basic of how to create auto layout. Now, if I'm adding something inside of that frame, which has auto layout added, you can see that it's automatically resized itself to the content that I just created. And technically it has 8 points around this entire block, and so that's based on the property that I changed. If I change that to 40, I now have 40 everywhere. So far, so good, really simple. Let's make that red so that it's easier to see. Let's make it smaller so that you can see the differences, and let's resize this. Basically right now with the position matrix, if I select whichever position I want, the red rectangle will position itself accordingly. But you have way more options in the rectangle itself properties. So now they are set to fixed, but I can define that as a fill container, which means that it will stretch to fill the container that it contains. And if I'm resizing this frame, I'm getting the element flexible. You can also have the nested auto layout stacks inside of other auto layout stacks. So let me duplicate this, and let's say that this one is going to be an auto layout or shift A for auto layout that is vertical, and then I'm going to create a second one of these, and this one is going to be an horizontal one. So far, so good. This auto layout stack will have a fill container vertical, and that secondary block will be fill container vertical as well. However, on this one, I want both of these to be fill container. What that means is the entirety here of that layout or auto layout, both of my columns have the same width. The second column is split into 2 more columns, and then my left side, my left column or sidebar, will have the ability to flex vertically, but the top section is always going to stay the same. So you can see how this will help you to create really complex layout for like an app or a dashboard, for example, and you can build things with the new feature of Figma, which is the max width and min width options for the elements. So if I'm here, I'm telling Figma that my max width for this sidebar is 200 points and it has a min width of 100, it will means that this is gonna stretch to a point, and then when it reaches like 100 or when it reach 200, it stops growing. So this will help you 100% create some really complex layout and responsive layouts, which is what you want to do with auto layout. One of my best practice recommendation would be for you to take a look at your layout before you add auto layout, or to add auto layout while building your layout. So think about elements, how they should resize themselves and react if the frame or window is resized, and then act accordingly while you are building to add the right properties to the right elements, making sure that you will not have surprises later, and also making sure that the responsiveness of the screens help you test different screen sizes really easily. So that's about it. I hope you learned something and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks a lot for watching. As always, I'm thinking about doing an advanced auto layout video somewhere. So if you're interested, please let me know in the comment down below. If you have a little other questions, same place. And yeah, subscribe to the channel if you feel that it's interesting. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.